Hello and welcome back to the channel Understanding.Concepts.Of.Physics. We have been doing thermodynamics since few videos, and we have reached a point where we are going to start with concept of heat engine. So as you can see, this is just a summary of what you are seeing on the screen. We are going to derive these equations, how we come to this equation, and we'll see the understanding of this block diagram. And let's just quickly start this video. So you can see heat engine is basically a device which can convert heat partly into work. Okay, so heat engine is a device which converts heat partly into work. So a device which converts heat energy to work but only partially, then such a device is what is called as a heat engine. Okay, so human body is also a kind of an heat engine, because we take food, and that's basically our intake, that's the energy we take in. Then we convert that energy into work done. Our body utilizes that energy in order to keep our body warm, that is 37 degrees Celsius. So we are also a kind of an heat engine, but here when we talk about heat engine, we talk about in terms of piston. So whenever there is the container fixed with a massless frictionless piston, yes, you can convert heat. When you supply heat, you can partly convert that into work, and partly it would be a loss. So let's just see the block diagram of that, and the block diagram looks something like this. Okay, just focus on where I am drawing with the laser. The circular part is what is called as the heat engine. So this is the heat engine, and the heat engine is working in a cyclic process. So a cyclic process is again discussed in the previous video. You can just go look at the previous videos, in order to understand what a cyclic process is. And the heat engine, what it does is it takes heat energy from one particular source. So this is one source where the heat engine is taking the energy from. So basically this becomes our input, and yes, this has to be at a higher temperature. So this is at a higher temperature, and let's say I'll call as T1, and it is taking heat energy as Q1. So this is what our heat engine is taking heat from. Now with this heat, it is going to do work. It is going to move the piston, and that we will call as work done. So as the piston moves, work is done. This will be our output. This will be a useful work. So we are going to utilize this work in order to move some shaft or some gear or some wheel, and if this heat engine is working for a vehicle, then vehicle can move. And yes, definitely there is some energy which is going to get lost. So Q2 is again heat energy which is getting lost. We'll call this as a sink. This is a loss, and this will definitely be at a lower temperature, because Q1 amount of heat energy is taken and some is converted to work. So that definitely the amount of heat energy which is lost is lesser. And let's say this temperature is T2. So T2 is lower and T1 is higher. I have not written here. I'll just quickly write it. Okay, T1 is greater than T2. Okay. Now we are applying the conservation of energy, and conservation of energy says that if you supply heat energy Q1, then it is going to be converted to work done and the amount of heat energy which is lost. I'll find out the work done from this. So I'll keep the work done at one place. I'll keep the work done at one place, and I'll just move Q2 on the other side, which was plus, and now it is going to become minus. So Q1 minus Q2. Now efficiency of heat engine. Now efficiency is what? Efficiency is basically how much work you are able to get in, how much amount of input energy you have supplied. So efficiency of a heat engine is written by a Greek letter eta. This is what is called as an eta. Okay, and efficiency is basically how much output you get it in how much input you are supplying. So output is your work done, because that's what you are using it for, and input is the amount of heat energy which is you are supplied. So W upon Q1. Now W ka value we have already found out the value of W as Q1 minus Q2. So wherever there is a W, I'll have put a Q1 minus Q2, and Q1 is as it is, so Q1 is as it is. So this is what my efficiency is. So efficiency, or Q1 minus Q2 would be upon Q1 is my efficiency of a heat engine. Now it is seen that Q1 and Q2 basically these are heat, and finding out heat is slightly more difficult compared to finding out temperature. And we know that temperature and heat are functions of each other. So wherever there is a Q1, wherever there is a Q2, wherever there is a Q1, we can replace that by temperature. And if I replace that, I'll get T1 in place of Q1 and T2 in place of Q2, and Q1 is replaced as T1. So this is the efficiency of heat engine in terms of temperature, and this is the efficiency of heat engine in terms of heat energy. Now measuring heat is, again we'll have to go back to calorimeter and measuring. It would be difficult to use this formula in a laboratory, but T1 and T2 is basically temperature measurement is much easier compared to measurement of heat. Temperature measurement, you need only a thermometer, and anybody at their homes can do this. So T1 is the hot body, that is the hot reservoir, or you can say source where the heat energy is getting pulled from, and T2 is the cold region where the waste of energy is going. So this is what efficiency of a heat engine is. Now one thing you should note that this temperature is always in Kelvin, always in Kelvin. So if there is a degree Celsius ka concept, then you need to take care that you always convert that degree Celsius to Kelvin. Then lastly, efficiency of a heat engine will always be less than 1. So you will never have a heat engine which is 100% efficient. So if you get a 100% efficient engine, that means there is no loss of energy, and which is practically not possible in real world. You may be not even going for an efficiency of 0.5 or 50% of efficiency. In real world, the engines are practically efficient, which is less than 50%. So efficiency is less than 1. That's true for all engines in the universe. So in case you are still with me, thank you so much for watching the video. Just subscribe the channel in case you haven't done so. Keep watching with a link. Thank you so much. Bye.